Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I cook every single night and I enjoyed the time in the kitchen as much as anything I am doing during the day. Each time when I walk in the kitchen, I feel a sense of excitement as well as anticipation because most of the time I do not know how food is going to turn out. But one thing I do know is that it will turn out well. In this video, I would like to demonstrate to you how I cook a lo mein dish. Now, I cook this dish without a recipe because with my fast cooking system, I use template-based cooking. The fast cooking system contains 4 attributes, that is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir-frying, and template-based cooking that give me flexibilities in cooking almost anything that I would like. Now, you will be able to achieve that once you master the basics. Because using the template-based cooking, the main objective is to make cooking as simple as possible. Now, I do not use recipes, and I would not claim myself to be an gourmet cook, which I'm not. But I like to cook the food that I enjoy. And so consequently, I have a lot of flexibility, and the main goal is that to able to cook the type of dishes, first of all, it is efficient, that I do not want to spend hours in the kitchen. And for most of the evening, I spend usually somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes to put a meal on the table from scratch using all fresh ingredients. Now, this video is a demonstration of a template of how to make a lo mein. Now, lo mein actually is very simple and easy to make. If you think of a lo mein, you can think of a spaghetti meal. Actually, the idea is the same. You mix the noodles with a sauce. Now, in this case, a lo mein gives you a lot of flexibilities. You can add many different types of ingredients, different vegetables, meat, seafood. All of this is possible in creating a lo mein. And this flexibility allows you not only to use different food ingredients, but also using different kind of noodles. In here, I demonstrate the use of a sweet potato noodles. Now, I love sweet potato noodles, particularly for making lo mein. I don't think there's any other noodles is better for making lo mein. Now, this sweet potato noodles is mainly found in the Korean cuisine, but I find it is excellent for making lo mein and is now gaining popularity in other cuisines as well. To prepare this sweet potato noodles, boiling it, the best is to boil it in a wok. A wok is ideal for boiling noodles, and partly because of its large capacity as well as its large opening, so things will not boil over. So in this case, I boil about 1 pound of noodles, and I'm going to use some of them for this particular lo mein dish, and I use the others for a different dish later on. So this is part of advanced prepping. Now, one thing I really enjoy is fried tofu. Now, this fried tofu is already fried, so it makes it much easier, and it has excellent flavor, and it goes very well, and it's a great substitution for meat. Now, the main goal of my cooking is to eat as much vegetable as possible. So this dish, I'm going to add Brussels sprouts, and then I'm also going to use some cauliflower, and then in addition, also with broccoli. Now, all these vegetables are already in my advanced prepping. We all love mushroom. This is a shiitake mushroom that I hydrated, and then I'm going to use some fresh mushroom, which is a white mushroom. Again, they are all in my advanced prepping. And here is some scallions I have prepped in advance. The only thing I do not prep in advance is ginger. Ginger is best to prep just before the meal. And I find a way to mince it, use this handheld food processor. It can be done in less than a few minutes. I don't need any recipe to cook this dish. The reason is because this is a template. It's a template of how to stir-fry vegetables. And by using this basic template, I can stir-fry many different vegetable dishes simply by making substitutions of the vegetable that I use. I cook this dish in my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok on an electric stove. I'm going to start out with about 2 tablespoons of canola oil. Now, of course, you can use any cooking oil that you want as long as it has a high smoking point. I season the wok with my spot seasoning method, before I start the cooking session. The first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to saute some fermented black soybean. Now my wife loves fermented black soybean, and by sauteing them in advance, it gives the dish a nice flavor. And then this is followed by addition of some Brussels sprout. Now my wife is not a great fan of Brussels sprout, but I was able to convince her to eat some Brussels sprout because I also add vegetables that she likes. She loves broccoli and she also enjoys cauliflower. Now, I personally like Brussels sprout very much. So this way, we all have some vegetable that we like in this dish. Now, the end result is that you tend to eat other vegetables as well because of the combination that you have. This actually is a great way to enhance vegetable consumption and also to learn vegetables that you might not like. In here, I add some shiitake mushroom. This is dehydrated shiitake mushroom, and they are really convenient. Each time when I want some, I hydrate them and I cut them into thin slices, so they are readily available anytime you want. Now, ginger. I personally, for a long time, do not cook with ginger because in the past, I used to find ginger is very hard to cook, and because I do not know the best ways to mince them. Now I have that handheld food processor, I can mince the ginger in a matter of seconds. And this makes great because my wife really enjoys ginger. Now at this point you notice that I add some additional cooking oil. I always keep my cooking oil in a squeeze bottle so I can add the precise amount that I want. And this way I can start with minimum amount of cooking oil and add more as I see fit. Okay, now I'm ready to add the tofu. Now the tofu is already cooked, so basically all I have to do is to warm it up to the temperature. However, when you cook the tofu like this, it will soften the tofu and make their texture more pleasing. Now, this process of cooking this dish is based on a template. You can make substitutions of any of these ingredients. Once you know the ingredients, you know what is the best time to add them. Now there's a method known as a sequential stir frying. What it does is that it allows you to add different ingredients at different time. You notice that I add the white mushroom after I cook all the other ingredients for about a minute because the white mushroom takes shorter time to cook. Or maybe you can say, I do not want to cook it too much. So ingredients that you want to cook less time, you add it at a later time. Once you understand the ingredients, you will know exactly what to do. And next, I add some Shaoxing cooking wine. Now, Shaoxing cooking wine has a very unique flavor that's very typical of Chinese cooking. And if you want to have a Chinese flavor, the Shaoxing cooking wine is the cooking wine to use. And it's a great cooking wine and now used in other type of cooking as well. I'm going to season the dish with a combination of oyster sauce and hoisin sauce. Again, by adding different amount, I can judge how much the flavor I want it to be. Now for this dish, I'm also going to add some a sweet chili sauce, which I bought that is come from Panda Express. I just have some left, and I'm looking at it in the refrigerator for a long time. I said, well, I'm going to use it today. I know it would turn out to be okay. Now, anytime when you add sauces, the sauces tend to burn to the bottom of the wok. I have some water in a squeeze bottle, and I just put some water right over the surface where the sauce has been burned, and I use it basically to steam it off. Now, by this time, I already turned off the heat, but still, the wok is very hot. This is a good way to clean the wok as well as to return the flavor of the whatever might stuck and burn to the bottom of the wok back to the dish. Okay, now what I want to cook for this dish is done. You can imagine this is like a spaghetti sauce. And now the next step is to mix everything together. And this is the lo mein part of cooking this dish. Again, the word lo means mix. Mein means noodles, so basically you mix noodles with those ingredients. Now you can create more sauces if you would like, if you like to have a heavy sauce. I usually do not like to have too much of a sauce. I just want to have enough to coat the noodles. Most of the time when you make lo mein, you prefer the noodles to be thicker because the thicker it is, the more likely for it to be coated by the sauces. However, this sweet potato noodles has this unusual property that really able to attract or able to coat it with the sauce. And the end result is that the noodle has great flavor. I make some more adjustment by adding additional oyster sauce after I did a taste testing. This is a good example of flavor chasing. And the idea is very simple, is that you make adjustment before you serve the dish. Okay, the dish is done, and the total cook time is a little bit over 10 minutes. So I'm able to put all this meal together from the time I walk into the kitchen in about 10 minutes. As you can see, I always take a picture. We're both smiling because this actually is a good time for us during the day. We might argue with each other or maybe have some disagreement during the day of what we are doing. But when it comes to dinner time, we always work together and we enjoy that thoroughly. So if you want to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.